All right. I appreciate you being here today, Terry. I know if you don't feel well, the last thing you want to do is sit and listen to some woman talk about websites. But I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. I'm going to leave the waiting room open so that if anyone else does come, then I can let them in when it's time. So let's start question. So what is it that you're hoping to get today, Terry?
I've had, I need a website and I've been thinking about it for over a year now, but it's mostly for marketing my books. That's what
Okay.
I'm looking for
Okay.
because I have three that I actively market and then I have two more in process right now. So they're going to keep coming because I have all this stuff in my head. I got to get out
Yeah.
to the world.
Awesome.
That's my
Awesome.
motivation.
Wonderful. We'll see what we can do today. Let me go ahead and share my screen. So you should be able to see my poor guy sitting there hunched over his desk with his hand on his forehead or his face. Again, just thank you for being here. I am a copywriter and a messaging strategist, and I also have a partnership with a friend of mine in a business called Done in a Day website. Making sure that websites work the way they're supposed to is really important to me. Business owners put so much effort into creating a website or money into paying for someone else to create a website that you want to make sure it works. And you don't want it just to be a glorified business card or a brochure. You want to have it work for you. That's what we're going to work on today. There are five things that you need to ask yourself before you start, five pages or sections of your website that are imperative, and then five reasons why the website has to work for you. This is my example of a not very good website. Now, it's beautiful. It's beautiful, but what do they sell? Yeah, what do they sell? You have no idea. My journey, are they selling travel? I don't know. I have no idea. It turns out that this is actually a photographer's website. So why not just say on here, want to get your pictures taken? Need
Yeah.
need pictures? Need photographs? Now, that's very simple, I know, but something like this, it may be beautiful, and I can guarantee they probably spent a bunch of money on this, but it really doesn't serve them at all. Remember that there is a 5-second test. I just realized that the number five really plays an important role for me in this webinar. So, anyway, the 5-second test, three questions that your website has to answer when someone reaches your page. When your page above the fold, which is that first page that opens up on someone's computer, what is going to keep people there visiting your website? Who are you? What do you do? And why should they care? If they can't answer these three questions within the first 5 seconds, they're going to go back to their search result page and go to the next person or the next website. Or they're going to back out of this and go wherever it was that they were at before they found your website. You might ask, so how do I do that? How do I get someone to see what I do and why they should care within 5 seconds? That's what we're going to talk about today. Five website fails that are killing your business. There's outdated and cluttered design. If the website looks like it's from 2005, it's not going to be something that's going to catch people's attention. If they see information on your website for an event that was held in 2019 and it's now 2026, they're not going to stay on your website. Is the navigation confusing? It used to be that we had buttons all across the top of the page or along the left side of the page to help people get from page to page. That's not the style anymore. The next fail is a confusing message. Visitors need to know who you are, what you do, and who you serve. And that is probably one of the biggest killers of all websites. The next one is a poor mobile experience. More than half of millennials only access the internet on their mobile devices. And so if you have a website that does not transfer from desktop to laptop to tablet to phone, it looks like they're missing something because your website doesn't react as it moves from one device to another. They're not going to get everything that you have to offer. So you need to make sure that your website is responsive and that when your visitor is on a tablet, they're going to be able to see all the information that they need to see, just like they would if they were seeing it on a huge monitor. The next website fail is that there's no clear call to action. Learn more is not a call to action. Get started is not a call to action. Your calls to action need to be things like schedule a call, buy now, download this guide. You've got to tell your visitors exactly what it is that you want them to do next and show them what's going to happen when they click on a button. When I click on learn more and a sales page comes up, that's going to strike me as a little odd because I didn't want to know about what you have to sale for sale. I wanted to learn more about what your business is and what you do. So you need to make sure that where those visitors go, that they know where they're going to go when they click on a button. And the last one is DIY burnout. And I'm just as much a victim of this as anyone else. I can do it. I can do it myself. I'll just do it myself. It's not that big of a deal. I can just go on Wix and put my site up. But it's going to take me 6 months because I've got so much other stuff to that I'm trying to run my business. And if your website is always under construction, people are going to stop visiting. So, what can you do? How can you stop guessing and start strategizing? Well, I my partner Sherry Fioka in our Done in a Day website program, we have developed this website framework that you will get at the end. You'll be able to download it at the end of the presentation. And then also when I follow up afterward and send the link to this, which when I upload it to YouTube, I'll include that in that email as well, just to make sure that you get it. This is going to tell you clearly what it is that you need. It's a 3-part framework that makes sure that you think about everything you need on your website before you write a single word, before you choose your brand colors, before you decide that your logo is going to look like this or whatever. These are the 3 areas that you need to think about and an answer before you actually start building your site. The first are 5 foundational questions to help you get to the core of your business. The next are your 5 core messages, how you communicate your value to the people who are visiting your website. And then the 5 strategic website sections that you must have to guide your customer through the journey of getting to know you. There's a very specific words that people use to describe the customer journey. I look at it as someone finally figures out that they have a problem and they're curious about who can help them solve it. Then they move on to, all right, I found this person. Now show me what you can do. And then they move on to, okay, I trust you. I want to buy from you. And instead of a 7-step customer journey, just think of it in terms of those 3 steps. I'm curious about you. I want to learn more about you and how you solve my problem. Okay, now I want to buy from you. So let's start with the 5 foundational questions. Number 1, who are you talking to? When you try to talk to everyone, your message doesn't hit with anyone. And it may seem counterintuitive to niche down and identify a specific client, but if you're not talking to someone in particular, how do you know that your message is going to hit? How do you know that your message is going to speak to the people you want to reach? I used to write a blog and I had my mom read it before I posted it. And if my mom had questions, I knew other people were going to have questions. If my mom understood it, I thought maybe everyone else is going to get it too. So I know it wasn't 80 some year old women who were the only people reading my blog, but I knew that if she understood it, everyone else was going to understand it too. The next question is, what problem are you solving? People don't buy products or services, they buy solutions to their pain. They buy who they are going to become after they solve their problem. And then what makes you different? You are not a commodity. What you do is you sell a transformation. So whether your transformation comes because you know how to fix a leaky faucet, or your client's transformation comes because you can help them work through childhood trauma. You're not selling counseling or therapy or plumbing services. You're selling what you bring to the table and how you solve their problem. And the way you communicate that value is going to say so much about you and your values and attract the type of people who you want to serve. Speak boldly, be confident. You are out there to provide a service that you know you are good at providing, and you know you can help people. The next question is, what do you want your visitors to do once they read the information or they reach your page? Every page, every section of a page needs to have a single clear purpose. What's the one action you want them to take? You call up a website and you see the very first things, and it's just a beautiful photograph of a snowy scene. There's no words, nothing. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I have no idea what I'm supposed to do now, but it's still very pretty. But I'm going to go back to my search results and see if someone else can answer my question or solve my problem. Now, you can have that same beautiful, snowy scene, but you can say on it, cold got you down? We don't charge extra for emergency furnace repair calls. That tells exactly what you do, how you solve a problem. And then you have a little button right there so they don't have to scroll that says, call now. And you can do that every time you scroll down a full page. You have another button that invites your visitors to do something. And then the last question is, what results can your clients expect? Cold got you down? Furnace not working? We don't charge extra for emergency furnace calls. So as a customer, I'm going to expect that when I call you and you provide me with the bill after you fix my furnace, that there's not going to be an exorbitant charge on there because you had to come out on a Saturday. You need to paint a vivid picture of what life is going to look like after someone works with you. Make that transformation something that they can feel. Help them see themselves in the after picture. You've got the before and the after. They already know what they look like before. They want to know what they're going to look like after, or how they're going to feel after. So make sure that your results are right out there, right up front for people to know what to expect. Next are the 5 core messages that will help your clients convert, actually buy from you, actually schedule an appointment with you. First of all, you need to have some sort of a positioning statement. It could be a tagline, it could be a one sentence elevator pitch, but it's got to be something that immediately communicates who you are and what you do. And then you've got to have a signature solution. Do another webinar on how to identify your ideal client. And I've taken the word ideal, IDEAL, and created a 5-step process that follows IDEAL to help you identify your ideal client. Now, I'm not saying that's unusual or I'm the only one who does that. I'm sure I am not, but it's a signature solution. People know when they see me that they're probably going to get some sort of an acronym that includes the steps to get wherever they want to go by using my services. 3 reasons to choose you. The 3 main benefits of working with you, not features, not that you have a degree in counseling, not that you have 40 years of experience writing other people's stories. Those are features. The benefits are what they want to know. People buy benefits, they buy for emotional reasons, and then they have to justify their purchase with logic. So the benefits attract them first. The features help reinforce that they made the right decision to buy from you. So what's the difference between a feature and a benefit? Okay, I'm going to use my example of a big pick 'em up truck. I don't know anything about engine sizes or Hemi or nothing. So I know I'm saying this wrong. So you have an advertisement that talks about how this truck has a Hemi engine and a 6.4 liter engine, and it can tow up to 12,000 pounds and whatever. That's not going to sell the truck. What is going to sell the truck is this truck will pull your camper to the West Coast from Columbus, Ohio. You're not going to have trouble going around or up and down the mountains. This truck is going to pull and your family will be safe because that's the benefit of owning this truck. Now, someone says, okay, fine, I want to buy it. Now they're going to say, what size engine does it have? What's the pulling capacity? What kind of, that's where you justify the purchase. Next is social proof. You've got to show people that you've done this before, you've helped people before, people would love to come back and work with you. And it could be anything from an entire testimonial section on your site, or it could be testimonials sprinkled periodically in throughout the site, or you could have case studies that people could download that they could read about how you helped such and such a business turn their sales around simply because their website was redesigned or rewritten. So you need to have some sort of social proof. Now, if you're just starting out and you don't have that social proof yet, that's okay. That is okay. But as soon as you have someone who you have served successfully and they love what you did, ask them to write you some sort of a testimonial. It is, you are not bragging. You are not asking for the moon to just say, hey, thanks. I'm so glad that you enjoyed working with me. Would you write a testimonial for me so that I can put it on my Google business profile or I can put it on my website? It will really help me get other clients. And if you serve that person well, they want to help you. They want to help you. So ask. You're not going to get a testimonial unless you ask for it. All right. So now we have the 5 strategic sections of your website. The very first thing is your homepage headline, not the homepage itself. because if your headline does the work that it's supposed to do, people will get to the rest of your homepage. So that headline has to be magnetic. It's got to be something that grabs the visitor to your site. You have 3 to 5 seconds for someone to make a decision of, okay, yeah, I'm going to scroll down on this site and see what else they have. The second thing is a lead magnet. What is a lead magnet? It's a free thing, some sort of a piece of value that you're going to give away. 10 signs that your childhood trauma is running your life. 10 ways to protect your pipes in a Minnesota winter. The 5 things you've got to have on your website. And then, oh, and why? So why do you do that? You need to get people's emails. And people don't just randomly give you their email address. And a sign up for our newsletter is not a lead magnet. Nobody wants your newsletter unless you make it something that they look forward to. But if you have something really good that offers them great value that they can get for free, sure, I'll exchange my email for that. Now, why do you need to have email? Your email list, in all reality, is the only thing online that you own. But I have a great Facebook group and I'm on LinkedIn and I've got 30,000 followers on my TikTok channel. TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, their algorithms can change tomorrow and you have no idea. And all of a sudden, no one is seeing your post anymore. Or and this has happened to a friend of mine. She is now in Amazon or in the Facebook jail because one of her posts violated their service, their terms of service. She has no idea which one it was. She was not told what it was that violated the terms of service. She just knows that she is on a 6-month hiatus from Facebook, which means if that was the only way she was communicating with her clients, she has now gone into Facebook dungeon and will not be able to contact her clients whatsoever because that was her only way of communicating with them. Create something that's irresistible, that offers wonderful value that you are going to give away in exchange for an email address so that you can start and nurture and just bloom a relationship with this client. The next thing is a very clear call to action. Prominent buttons that tell your visitor exactly what to do next and shows them what's going to happen when they click on a button. Download my guide. When I click on that button, better take me to a link or something that's going to let me download that guide. Next is an about section. Now, we call these about me or about us, but they're not really. They're about, it's your story told in a way that shows your clients, one, that you get them, two, that you've been there, and three, you know how to solve whatever that problem was. I do another webinar where I talk about charm, that your story, you can take the most difficult parts of your life and show your customers how that experience transferred into how you treat your clients today. The lesson that you learned because you went through this experience is what you're using to talk to your clients right now. That's all part of a strategic about section. Now, you can say, yeah, I've been teaching for 30 years, or I've written professionally for 40 years, whatever you want to say. But you don't want it to be about me, my, us, we, our. It needs to be about you, your experiences, your problem. And then the fifth section is a clear, easy to understand, simple overview of the services that you offer. You offer 30 different services, 30 different checkups for furnaces, air conditioners, that there's an entire checkup system that you use. Your clients don't care that you've got 30 ways that you're looking at their furnace or their air conditioner. They care that you have something that's going to help them fix their furnace. And it gives your visitors a clear pathway so that they can learn more about you. They can understand where you're coming from. They can say, yes, this person gets me. All right. There are some trends and some pitfalls that will either serve you or pull you down. Some of the pitfalls are things like a poor loading speed. I don't know about you, but I am one of the most impatient people in the world. And if I open a website on my phone and it takes more than 10 seconds to load, forget it, back. And there are a lot of things users will bounce when they come to a website that takes forever to load. So you need to make sure that your images are optimized, that you don't have any extraneous code that the website or the internet gods have to read before they show up the information on your page. Those are all things that a good website developer should be able to help you fix if you're experiencing that. Poor content readability is another thing. And this is also where the responsive design comes into play. So you've got a website that appears beautifully on a computer monitor. Somebody goes to their phone and the words are so small they can't read it. Or they have to take a screenshot of it so that they can blow it up so they can read what the words are. Make sure that your paragraphs are short and that you're using good white space to show that it's not going to take you forever to read this information. Don't use tiny fonts. Be sure that the contrast of the colors looks good whether the color appears or not. What if someone is colorblind and is looking at your site and your site is all red and green? They may not be able to see anything on your site. And you also need to be aware of page readers, people who are blind or have low vision. If it's difficult for a page reader to read through your page, if they do have some vision and the contrast isn't good enough, they're not going to be able to see it. It's all part of making your site as accessible as possible to anyone who could visit. And really, according to US ADA, it's a requirement now. So make sure your content is readable and easy to see. And then just basic SEO basics, search engine optimization. That's how, now some may think that it's not that much in vogue anymore with the whole answer economy and AI systems in use, but SEO is still a thing. And that is how the search engines find you. So using things like appropriate keywords, descriptions for your page, using they're called alt tags for images. You have an image on your page and you have someone who has low vision, they have no idea that it's there unless their page reader says, this is a photograph of a young boy playing with toys in a daycare setting. It's all part of making it accessible. And it's how Google finds you. It's how Google finds you. Next is some other modern mistakes: not being mobile friendly. Not even millennials. Over 60% of web traffic is on mobile. Think about the last time you were out and you wanted to find some place to eat. You didn't look it up on your computer before you left. You've got your little computer in your hand that you're like, good places to eat near me. And the way those restaurants are going to be found is because they've got the appropriate keywords in place that Google is going to find them. The fifth critical modern mistake is that your content is outdated. If your website is not, create it and forget it. You have got to constantly update it. So if someone comes to your website and they see information for a webinar that you held in 2022 and it's now 2026, you must not care very much about the information you're putting out there because this is way outdated. Now, the cool thing about these 5 modern mistakes is they're relatively easy to fix. It's not going to take someone with an IT master's degree to be able to fix these things. So let's go on to some trends that really matter. AI-driven personalization. Now, you can, whatever you think about AI, it's here to stay. It's not going anywhere. And it's going to continue to evolve faster than any other technology that I can remember. And I've been around for 65 years. So embrace it, get used to it. Give your visitors an opportunity to converse with you through some sort of an AI bot on your homepage, or create something on your homepage that's going to guess the questions someone might ask and have that bot available right now to be able to answer those. Or give your bot the capability of accessing your calendar so that your bot can say, I don't know the answer to that, but Susie has time to talk at 3 o'clock today. Would you like to make an appointment to see her? Those are the things that we're all going to be looking for. Animations, dynamic video, things that change as based on the content. Those are all AI driven personalization options. Now, this is something that I don't understand, but it's called anti-design. And some people are moving more toward really quirky designs that stand out. That's not something that I look for, but I'm also an old lady. And it may be that an anti-design type website would appeal to your younger audience. But you need to know your audience to know that's something that would be effective. Bold visuals, something that's going to capture people's attention, anything that you can do that is going to capture someone's attention is wonderful. And then advanced interactivity. Give yourself interactive elements. Create automation. Use video. Make sure that your visitors can tell that it's you behind this website. If you are the type of person who is very informal, you're not someone who sticks to specific rules, but your website is block by block with corporate language, and that's not you, and you're not being authentic, and your clients will know. So your copy on your website needs to reflect your own voice or the voice that's been created, the brand voice that's been created for your business. And you can also use user generated content. So that would be things like testimonials. Have a place where someone can actually fill out a testimonial on your page and submit it. Or you've written a blog post, allow comments. Now, you want to make sure that you have the ability to approve comments before they're posted on your website, because a lot of those comments are going to be machines and AI bots who are going around trying to promote something that has absolutely nothing to do with what you're asking for comments on. But those one or two people who actually have a wonderful comment, when they see that you accepted their comment and their comment is there on your website, that just is something that not a lot of people allow folks to do anymore, but you should. So, what's the formula for website success? First, know who you're talking to. Second, say the right things in the right way. You may have a wonderful message, but they're not the right words to speak to your people. Intentional pathways. Guide your visitors to a clear next step. And then have a conversion focus. A beautiful website is should not be a pretty brochure or a digital brochure. It needs to be something that works for your business and fulfills a specific purpose. So it used to be, oh, you've got to be on the internet. You've got to have a website so people can find you. Now it's not just to have a focus or a presence. Now it's to fulfill a purpose. All right. So now there are some website tools. There are so many. These are just a couple that I have used. Google Page Speed Insights, that will give you a pretty good idea of what's slowing your page down and how you might be able to speed up the load time of your website. Metrics. Oh, it's your performance detective. It gives you a deep dive into your files and what files are slowing down your site. You can also use Uber Suggest. That will give you a pretty good look at the SEO parts of your website that are slowing things down. I had someone who was like, I just don't understand why my website isn't showing up whenever I search for it. I had Uber Suggest look at their website, and all their pages were labeled no index, which tells Google, don't index us and don't tell anyone that we're here. So as soon as we removed that no index code, they started to show up. Screaming Frog is another tool. It can be a little overwhelming, but if you take the time to learn it, it'll show you things like broken links and where you have duplicate content and other things that will hurt your SEO. So in the workbook that I'll be giving you at the end, there's a fix it checklist. So first, the foundations. Are you clear about who you serve? Is the problem you solve obvious? Do you have a clear path for people to go and the next step for them to go on your website? Then there's the content. Is your message engaging? Do you offer value and build trust with social proof and a customer-centric about page? And then a technical and user experience. This covers all the practical sides of your website: load speed, mobile friendliness, readability, basic SEO. Those are all part of that technical user experience section that is part of the checklist. So I want to give you the opportunity to speak to Sherry and me. We have a 30-minute website strategy session where we can talk to you about your website, what you're looking for. Do we think that our done in a day service would work for you? And if not, what do we think would work? Do you need a 5-page website? Or does a one-page website work best? I'll put in the chat here the scheduling link to meet with us. And you can schedule a free session to sit down with us and talk about that. So, what's next? My next webinar is Turning Browsers into Buyers. That's February 27th. This replay will be up on YouTube probably by the end of the weekend. And we do have a private Facebook group called the Business Owners Marketing Hub. So we would love for you to join any of those. And all of these links will be included in the email that I send out later. So let me stop sharing and I can put in, here's the link to the 5x5 workbook chat there. Okay. And then this is the link to schedule some time to talk about what your website is, what it's doing now, is it serving you, all that. And then here are a couple of email addresses that if you just want to send an email, you just have a few questions, you don't want to schedule 30 minutes, I'd love to converse with you via email. Those are a couple of email addresses. I don't have anything else. That's it as far as what I've got. If you've got questions, I'll be happy to try to answer them. If not, thank you.
Thank you, Susie. That was great. I'll look at your calendar and see when I can schedule a strategy session just to try to
Okay.
learn more. I don't currently have a website. I use YouTube and Facebook. I do have a school community. I just think I need my own thing.
Yeah. And those are all wonderful places to represent
Mm-hmm.
yourself and to give your clients a place to communicate with you. But you don't know for sure that those are going to be there tomorrow. Even as much as I hate to say it, even your website, if your host goes down, your website is gone, you
Mm-hmm.
still need to have some sort of an email list so that you can let people know, hey, my website is down. I know if you need anything, please just email me here, whatever. That an email list is probably one of the most important things to have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have about somewhere around 1,000 in my email
Nice.
list right now. So I have a start. A lot of
Oh,
them,
that's a good start.
yeah.
That's a good start. All right. Awesome. If there's nothing else, like I said, you will get an email afterward with the link to the replay on YouTube. I'll include the link to get the 5x5 workbook and a link to schedule some time with Sherry Me, the link for the next webinar, and the link to join our Business Owners Marketing Hub.
Okay, that sounds great.
Thank you, Terry. Stay warm and
You
be
too.
safe. All
Have a
right.
great weekend.
You too. Bye now.
Goodbye.